I want to welcome everybody to the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle. I'm Ben Grosscup. I'm the executive director of the People's Music Network. We're going to talk a little bit later about some upcoming events coming up in New York City at the end of January. But I want to tell you, as the People's Music Network, we're here to sustain and grow a diverse network of activists and artists who are using our art, our music, our poetry as catalysts for a just and peaceful world. The topic of our song swap tonight concerns what the heck just happened in the United States earlier this month. We're inviting every artist who's signed up graciously to participate in this event to engage with this question through your musical expression. During the introductions, it can be very helpful actually to share just enough context for us as the audience to understand the song. Tonight, we're also leaving kind of the political speeches, as it were, at the door and focusing on music as a mode of expression. Because the intention is really grappling with the threats that have been magnified by the 2024 US presidential election, such as right-wing authoritarianism, Christian nationalism, state-sanctioned criminality, attacks on immigrant communities. We're also going to grapple with the persistent problems of our political system as a whole. The continuity of racism, poverty, militarism, and environmental destruction in our society, and the impact of this emanating from the United States around the entire world. As a community, the People's Music Network gathers strength and courage to face scary challenges such as the ones I've begun to describe by singing songs that nourish our spirits and help us make sense of events that are unfolding around us. So let's really use this time tonight to inspire and renew one another just by sharing politically conscious musical culture as a group. Throughout our history, People's Music Network has a history going back to the late 1970s, and our community has been united around so many peace and justice movements that have taken place during that time. You know, we're also living at a time today when the nature of political polarization in the country at large divides people in new kinds of ways, and some of the disagreements we have with one another, even within our own little community of activist music makers, may seem bigger, perhaps, depending on your viewpoint, than the kinds of disagreements we've had many years ago. And I think that we're, as a community, very much a reflection of the world that's happening around us. We, as a community and as an organization, are also specifically recruiting and reaching out to activists who bring with us strong political convictions and who express those strong commitments through their music. And despite the real political differences, that are present within our community, sorry about that. But despite those real political differences within our community, the People's Music Network is aiming to foster a free artistic expression within this space, as well as respectful political dialogue, both tonight and in general. So we are really inviting everyone to listen with curiosity and appreciation, knowing that you don't need to agree with everything being shared. So take what's inspiring and useful to you from tonight and leave that which is not so helpful to you behind. If you like, you can take what's challenging tonight and use it as a way to start a new dialogue within the network. In that spirit, we just want to let folks know that unless the PMN steering committee specifically endorses a particular political statement, it should generally be assumed that when individual PMN staffers and officers make political statements through a song or in discussions, that they're speaking on behalf of themselves and not necessarily on behalf of the organization as a whole. That goes for me. I'm the executive director, as well as any members of the board who will introduce themselves as they appear. A few logistical reminders about tonight. I want to encourage everyone to share the YouTube live stream for tonight. This is a great way to get the word out about the fact that this is happening. Many of you have already done this, I've noticed. Anyway, the YouTube live stream is just kind of like the easiest way to get at this. Another thing to remember is lyrics tonight. Those have been posted into the announcement for the event. and I'm putting them into the chat here. And that's just a great way if like those lyrics are listed in order of performance tonight. So you'll be able to like go through and find lyrics that have been posted. And I tried to get everybody's lyrics in who sent them to me onto that link. We're going to offer some verbal encouragement. So as we're going through the invitation, and for newcomers, I'll remind you, but basically to kind of like share the listening process, we're asking, it's a little tricky because sometimes you get up to perform, you're all like ready to like perform do your own song. We're actually asking like right at that moment when you might be like kind of nervous to step back and see if you can really tune into the performance that's just happened before you and see if you can offer a word of encouragement to that person. Maybe it starts in just like something you heard, something specific, something about what just happened in the previous performance that touched you in some kind of way. Something that you can say that's positive, brief, and also kind of like from your own experience is really helpful. Everyone use the chat box throughout the entire evening to offer that kind of encouragement. Don't limit it to just that moment when you're hearing and offering some reflection to the person who performed right before you. Generally, we're aiming to keep it to 5 minutes max for performances. And thank you all for trying to stick to that time limit. I know a few people had songs that were a little bit longer, so we'll give a little bit of grace there, but we appreciate everyone being so mindful of the time. So with that, I want to introduce our first performer for the evening. Her name is Barbara Discant. And Barbara, welcome to the Song Swap.
Thank you. And since I will not be doing the encouragement for anyone before me other than Ben, I encourage you. I'm willing to encourage the last person, so they'll get a chance at that, okay?
Perfect.
Just putting that in, that will be doing my duty and my pleasure. I'm here actually to celebrate a big, big, big victory. My voice isn't in the best shape, but 5 days after the election, after a huge 10-year battle, the Northern Access Pipeline, the subject of the Big Black Snake song I'm going to sing, is dead. National Fuel backed down after 10 years. This would have been 100 miles of fracked gas going from Pennsylvania through New York to the Erie to be exported for profit. We won in 2017. In 2018, the Federal Regulatory Agency overturned New York State's victory and gave National Fuel the authority to seize people's land. We kept going. Some of us, our group, are Senecas. Some of us, like me, are allies. We kept going for the 10 years along with many other people. And 5 days after the election, it is just a huge up to know we can still win something. That said, our group, Defend Ohio, has plenty more to do because our area is pretty much a sacrifice zone of western rural New York State. However, we're heartened that we can still do it. So I just want to pass along, it can be done. And that's about it. So I'm offering the Big Black Snake song. I normally don't do an introduction, but because of this victory, I wanted to explain it. And also, I use my piano to do 2 roles. One, it takes the role of the pipeline, and the other, it takes the role of the waters. And I ended the song with the waters victorious, and now they are. Anyway, here we go. And again, forgive any glitches of this. A big black snake, crawling out of Pennsylvania toward New York State. 100 miles long, 2 feet wide, poison for profits, what it carries inside. Northern Access Pipeline, if it brings in the money, it suits them just fine. Poison the water, poison the air, National Fuel does not care. But we do, we can't let it go through. If we care about life, we can't let it go through. If water is life, we better not go through. New York State said the pipeline can't be, but the feds overruled the state's authority and gave National Fuel eminent domain to steal people's land for corporate gain. Northern Access Pipeline, if it brings in the money, if it suits them just fine. Poison the water, poison the air. National feud does not care, but we do. We can't let it go through. If we care about life, we can't let it go through. If water is life, it better not go through. A big black snake crawling out of Pennsylvania toward New York State. 100 miles long, 2 feet wide. Poison for profits, what it carries inside. Northern Access Pipeline. If it brings in the money, it suits them just fine. Poison the water, poison the air. National feud does not care, but we do. We can't let it go through. If we care about life, we can't let it go through. If water is life, it better not go through.
Bravo.
Thank you.
And congratulations for that struggle. I know you've been very involved in that. I want to bring on Steve Siegelbaum to offer a word.
Hi, Barbara. First off, I always love your piano playing, and you came through again. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And even before that, thanks for the victory news. It's much needed. We don't get much of that these days, sadly. So it's great to hear a much needed victory. Getting back to the song, so I love that left hand sort of ominous rolling sound that you had there. It really it kept things going, and in the counteraction of the right hand. Yeah, I thought that was a most appropriate song, and well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. And I'm looking forward to hearing you.
All righty. So this is a song which I don't introduce apologetically, but just to say that I'm not quite sure I've finished it yet, but we'll see. My response, folks who know me fairly well know that I usually respond to things in a somewhat unusual, somehow contrary or contrarian way. And I'm sort of taking the news these past several weeks in that regard. So um, the song I'm singing here is number one a satire. I hope that'll be uh, obvious. But it's also taken from a couple of comments from various folks. Thankfully, that I don't know well, but I just heard these comments. Um, so maybe that's all the intro that's needed here. It's called In the Middle. Hey, diddle diddle, I'm staying in the middle. Don't want to be left or right. Good news I'm bringing, let's keep singing. Why get into a fight? Oh, fiddle faddle up the creek without a paddle, drifting along with the tide. Not troubling the water, just like I oughta, going along for the ride. I'm bipartisan, a bullshit artisan in my comfort zone. A middle of the roader, intellectual freeloader, leaving well enough alone. Rub-a-dub-dub, I'll stay out of trouble, don't wanna stir the pot. Yes, indeed, I have more than I need, can't afford to lose what I've got. In sunshine or stormy weather, ain't gonna ruffle a feather. Whatever you do or say, I'm ready to meet you halfway. Oh, hunky-dory, two sides to every story, oppressors and the oppressed. Don't get involved with what I can't solve, think I'll give it a rest. Oh, pitter-patter, does it really matter who is right or wrong? I just can't abide taking a side, so I'll keep on singing this song. Here goes. Hey, diddle diddle, I'm staying in the middle. Don't wanna be left or right. Good news I'm bringing, let's keep singing. Why get into a fight? Why get into a fight?
Wow, that was really fun. Thank you so much, Steve. Um, so just you got to tell us a little bit about the provenance of that.
Uh, well, the abysmal nature of American politics apparently has um, served to cause some folks that I've come across to throw up their hands and what can we do? And look at the way things are going, and I don't want to get involved. And it's sort of to step back.
Hmm.
My own approach, of course, is the opposite. But I,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
just
clear.
I just thought it was time, to a little levity coupled with skewering those folks.
Brilliant. Our next performer is Mira, but I don't see her here. Mira, are you here and I don't see you? Please unmute if you are. Otherwise, we're going to go along to Michael and Nell and see if we can get Mira on later. So let's bring you on, Michael. What do you have to say to Steve?
Okay, yes, Steve, that was wonderful.
Way to go.
What occurred to me, I'm listening to your song, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I ought to pitch this to mainstream media for theme songs. You know,
There you go.
that's how it struck. That's how it struck me. Thank you, Channel 2, 4, and 7. You have really done a great job of nothing.
Right.
So
So we're going to do a song we wrote a while ago, and I think we did it on this show probably quite a while back. And it's on our Welcome Home album, which went to number 5 on the folk chart.
but we're not bragging.
We're not bragging. But the point is, it's still relevant because it was a song that was written about the people called the Dreamers. And there's big, people who were brought to this country by their parents and are still waiting to see where they're going to land. They're in the crosshair. They're going to be in the crosshairs again, the way things are going here.
Yeah, the dreamers may be in for a nightmare, the way things are happening these days.
Really.
And what a mess. Anyhow, this is a song about them and their aspirations. Well, now let's try playing the right chord, Augie. There we go. To find a better life, we crossed the Rio Grande, floating through the shadows to no man's land. Veracruz is the place where I was born. My family worked in the hot sun growing corn. When American crops flooded Mexico, we could not survive, so we had to go. Driven from our home, we crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're living in the shadows in no man's land. My father brought me here when I was 4. I picked your fruit and swept up your floor. I stared at pictures in magazines. The promise of America filled my dreams. I want to plant my flag, but I don't know where I stand. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land. So I live in fear of a knock on my door. Man says I can't live here anymore, taking me from the only life I've known to another country that's never been my home. Driven from our home, we crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're hiding in the shadows in no man's land. The cards that I was dealt were not my choice. I was just a child, I never had a voice. I am just one story, there are many more like me, looking for the light, longing to be free, to find a better life. We crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're living in the shadows in no man's land. I want to plant my flag, but I don't know where I stand. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land.
Bravo. Thank you for that song. Wonderful. Very important song. I want to bring on a first timer for PMN. William Carroll, welcome to the People's Music Network. As is our custom, feel free to share with Michael and Nell anything you'd like to share with them about what you just heard.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. And I want to thank Chris Chase Dunn for alerting me to the existence of the People's Music Network. It's a fabulous project that we have going here. Chris is a colleague of mine. He's a fellow sociologist. So yeah, I love this song, Michael and Nell. It's really very moving. I think the first person delivery is really compelling. You know, like I think there's a really strong empathy that comes through, partly because it's first person. In telling the story, I think your harmonies were really wonderful, and also the kind of guitar piano duet, very effective. So just an excellent political song about a really important issue. Actually, the song I'm going to present, well, it's a kind of video presentation, but anyway, it's related. I don't know, Ben, if you want me to say something about the.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so this song is called "In Step with Other Dignified Feet," and it's a homage to the Zapatistas, who of course are based in southern Mexico. I wrote it a couple of years ago in 2022, but I just prepared this kind of music video that we'll be watching just a few months ago in sort of May, June. And it has two parts to it. It's a song that I've written, but the first part is my words, and it's basically performed in a singer-songwriter style. And then it shifts into a kind of Latin bolero lento style. All of the lyrics consist of public statements by the Zapatistas themselves. So it's got that kind of two-part aspect to it. And I guess that's about all I have to say about it in terms of.
You want to tell us where you're from, Bill?
Yeah. I'm originally from the United States. I moved up to Canada in 1968. So I live in Victoria, and I teach at the University of Victoria.
Wonderful. And this video starts with a little bit of silence.
This is what we believe in the face of all the lies. There's no time to mourn or grieve. We must rise and organize. It's plain to see the wellsprings of history are nothing more than our collective will to live with dignity. We're nothing if we walk alone. We're everything when we walk together. in step with other dignified feet. The world we want to transform has already been worked on by history and is largely hollow. We must, nevertheless, be inventive enough to change it, build a new world. Walking, we ask questions. In leading, we obey. We want a world where many worlds fit. We're nothing if we walk alone. We're everything when we walk together, in step with other dignified feet. Okay.
Bravo. Bravo. I think okay. Imagery in this music video features Zapatista iconography and political action interleaved with footage from the recording session on May 17th, 2024. The first frame shows members of the EZFL, Zapatista Army of National Liberation, with their stick weapons. The second frame is a reproduction of Jose Clemente Orozco, Zapatistas in memory of Gordon Bailey. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us, Professor William Carroll.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and very, very moving to see and hear those words of Zapatista leaders. Lydia Adams Davis is our next performer. Bringing you up onto the screen, Lydia, to see if you can offer a word of welcome to one of our new members.
Hi there, William. I'm afraid I am just blown away here. I am stunned. I am very grateful that you came tonight. In the 70s, I was active with Westchester Peace Coalition. Some very famous people in that world long ago did similar activist behaviors, renting buses, going down, taking part of bringing social justice, food, schools, saving people. There was a famous guy named Ben who was murdered. I don't have time now to tell you the history that you probably already know. And the Sandinistas and all the other things that went on in the 70s. Thank you. And the 80s. Thank you for this melodic, non-judgmental, non-finger pointing. It was gorgeous music. It was beautifully written and sung and played, and the videos were heart-stopping. Okay.
This has been an academic
I
interest
hope
of yours?
I'm sorry. I'm just so moved. I took off my headphones. Okay, I put them back on. I
just wanted to get one question for William real quick before we move on. I take it this has been a major research area for you?
Well, not really. I've just, I've been politically active as I've been an academic, and so I've always been really drawn to various issues around social justice, and this is certainly one of them. So I've done various, written a lot of songs and done some music videos, and this is the most recent one.
Well, thank you. And I hope you come back to another event in the future, participate with us from afar, and maybe you can come to the East Coast sometime where we tend to do our in-person things. So glad you were here.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Thanks. All right, let's hear your song, Lydia. We're going to unmute yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I am muted. Do you ever hear that expression, it's not about you? Hold on a second. I don't know if you can hear this. I never know what I'm doing.
We hear you.
That's not negative. I'm just kind of a klutzy person. I always have been. Okay, I think I've got it back together again. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Well, you've heard how I felt about the professor's work. One of the things that's clear to me is that positive behaviors have actually earmarked my life. When I was a music teacher in various schools here, Riverdale Country School, Bank Street, a school in Brooklyn, for many years. I was there for about 9 years as I raised my daughter in Park Slope. The kids really benefited from playing elemental xylophones and creating their own songs on the spot and rhythms and stuff. And so all they did is that they just celebrated their uniqueness as well as an ensemble. And that's why music became positive and rhythms became positive and never preachy. So I wrote a song for children recently because I just, even though I don't have the honor of teaching them anymore or providing arts and education projects throughout the Hudson Valley in New York, I'm still hopeful that those days will come again. And I'm actually going to sing for children at the Howland Cultural Center here in Beacon on January 19th, Ecology Songs. So that hopeful event will lead to more. Because you're never too old to sing a folk song, as our fearless, wonderful leader Pete Seeger said. I remember long ago, when I grow up, I'll tell you so, that I could be a keeper of dogs and cats that live on farms, chase away the field rats. Long, long ago, I had dreams of plenty. I'd be on my way, you couldn't stop me. anyway, and I wouldn't know how to find some truth, some peace and justice, and things for me to do. 'Cause I know love, I know faith, and I know laughter can come from any old place. And I know fear, gonna chase it away. I'm gonna make a difference someday. That's your part, let me hear you. I'm gonna make a difference someday. Long, long ago, I went away to school, and the girls I met knew the golden rule, and we resolved with kind persistence and sang our songs of strong resistance. 'Cause I know love, and I know faith, and I know laughter can come from any old place. And I know fear, gonna chase it away. I'm gonna make a difference someday. I'm gonna make a difference someday. This is just a short song for the young folks here who sing with laughter loud and clear. The bigger ones who can play the drum, and the little girl growing up to get things done. And the little girl's gonna get things done. 'Cause I know love, I know faith, and I know laughter comes from any old place. And I know fear, gonna chase it away. I'm gonna make a difference someday. 'Cause we all know love, and we all know faith, and we all know laughter comes from any old place. And we know fear, gonna chase it away. We're gonna make a difference someday. You're gonna make a difference someday. I'm gonna make a difference someday.
Bravo, bravo. I want to read one of the comments that came from the chat. Barbara Discant wrote, Lydia, your joyful presentation of determination in the midst of all the turmoil is so infectious and inspiring. Your guitar and voice both work perfectly to enhance the message of determination. It works for me and not only for children. Your visual presentation is perfect too. Jenny Amanda Hurwitz, always a delight to hear you and see you, Lydia, and enjoy your incredible talents as a songwriter, singer, and instrumentalist par excellence. Our next performer is Stephen Greenberg. Stephen, welcome.
Thank you.
There, Ben, and everyone. And thank you, Lydia. That was a lovely song. And I especially appreciate the reminder that we need persistence and resistance. That's how we're going to get to that someday. I'm trying to give the same reminder in this next song called A Little Bit. I wrote it after the election. It's long, but it's a long road from the darkness to the light. The song's also about how we need to turn away from presidential elections and toward our own collective power as the only way we're going to really transform this society. And there's a slight surprise ending in the video.
trying not to give up hope. A little bit of time could open up your heart to feel mine, but you can't seem to find the time. Hate is spreading dangerously. A little bit of truth and reason, plant a seed and send out roots, but you don't seem to know the truth from lies. That's how democracy dies, and then it's too late to know the little bit that could have saved your soul. Hail Inauguration Day, a little bit of pomp and praying for insanity to stop. But we need more than prayer and pomp. All the bucks and here with us, a little bit of mind and muscle manage to move things ahead. But first let's bury all that's dead and torn. A better vision is born when there's no choice but to see a little bit of future history. Holding on to someone near, a little bit of love and fear, and finding out how systems work and how they keep us all berserk and separate us with their lies. A little bit of organizing turns the tide and makes it flow. On strike, our power grows until they drown. Greedocracy goes down as caring people rise up. The little bit that soon becomes enough. Just a little time, just a little space, just a little moment we embrace, just a little smile, just a little tear, just a little map of everywhere, just a little shy, just a little bold, just a little putting dreams off hold, just a little red, just a little green, just a little light on sight unseen, just a little tame, just a little wild, just a little spirit of a child, just a little step, just a little fall, just a little make sense of it all, just a little pain, just a little ache, just a little learning from mistakes, just a little try, just a little fail, just a little shit just a little me, just a little making history.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Stephen. Beautiful song. Recently composed, I understand. Yes, thank you very much. I want to bring on Linda Allen, who I know has been listening. Linda, what do you have to say?
Oh, I just loved it. The little bit that every one of us can do, just a little bit, and then it makes all the difference. And it holds that vision of hope that I think we all need. And I loved how the video ended with the sunrise. So I was
Thank
very
you.
moved. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I guess
Oh,
my
if I could
song,
just add a little bit from the chat. So sorry to interrupt you,
sure.
Linda, before you do your
No.
song, but William Carroll wrote, "Fabulous, Stephen, remarkable that you have produced this in the moment of crisis." Jenny said, "What a catchy song with a deep, inspiring message. I love the melody and the singing and the whole song and arrangement and going into the minor, into the end, reflecting the fear a lot of us are holding right now."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very moving to me. And yes, the way this, the way that you carried it through, just a little, just a little. So thank you so much for that. I'm so glad to be here because this is where I find hope. All this connection. And William, I wanted to say I'm your neighbor. I'm in Bellingham, so you're you're really close to me. And to see all of us from so many different places having so, and I think this is true of everyone, we have so much more in common than what any politician believes we have. And just to remind each other that we're all here and we're here for each other. I wanted to read a couple of quotes. This is about hope because I've been in correspondence with a friend who was in Europe who was watching all of this unfold. And on the day of the election, she sent me a couple of um, quotes that I like very much. She said she had just recently heard a radio interview with Gloria Steinem, who is 90, responding to the interviewer saying, "You seem so optimistic," to which she said, "No, I'm not an optimist. None of us know the future, but I'm a hopeaholic." And I also heard recently Archbishop Tutu, in response to the same question, saying about him being an optimist, and he said, "No, I'm a prisoner to hope." So I will use that phrase. I am a prisoner to hope as well, and I think that um, we bring forth a vision, and the vision is so important to hold. It brings us closer to some resolution. So this is a song about hope. Um, And you can find the song is also published in Rise Again. And you can sing along. I'd love for you to sing along, although we can't be off mute or it'll be a total chaos. But it's called I Believe. I believe that peace will come. 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 I believe that hope survives. 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 I believe that love will rise. rise. I believe that love will rise. I believe that love will rise. I believe that love will rise. I believe in humankind. I believe in humankind. I believe in humankind. I believe in humankind. I believe that peace will come. 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 I believe that peace will come.
Bravo. Lovely. Oh, it would be so much fun to sing that together in person. I love that. I want to bring on Chris O'Connor, a new member of People's Music Network. Welcome, Chris.
Howdy.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And as is our custom, feel free to share a word with Linda before you tell us a little bit about the song you're presenting. I have it queued up for you.
Well, Linda, that was a pleasure to hear that song. And I've been telling folks a lot lately that as much as I appreciate songs from way back when, we need to be singing songs by some new voices and some new songs. And this is the kind of thing I think we need to be singing. And so I really appreciated it. The song I'm going to be singing today, or actually there's a video of, I wrote last winter, and through some very lucky happenstance, I met a person named Craig Whitson who sang along with me when I was getting it videotaped and audio taped at a local Unitarian church. Surprise, surprise there. And so this is the result. This is who we are. We are America. From every race and faith, we are one. From every corner of the world, with all our hopes and dreams. This is who we are. We are America. This will be our legacy. We will defend our land of the free from those who would be tyrants and kings, and the ones who would destroy democracy. This is who we are. We are America. Every race and faith, we are one. From every corner of the world, with all our hopes and dreams. This is who we are. We are America. Side by side, hand in hand, together let us take a stand for the dream that people might live free in a land of peace and equity. This is who we are. We are America. From every race and faith, we are one. The world, with all our hopes and dreams. This is who we are. We are America. This is who we are. We are America.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for sharing this song. I just wanted to ask you if you wanted to share any more about the song itself, or since this is your first PMN song swap, how you heard about PMN and what kind of draws you here. Oh, and go ahead and unmute yourself if you would. Thanks so much, Chris.
I've actually been a member on and off for decades, so and I've been a part of some of these song swaps too, but not for a little while.
I'm sorry if I forgot. Yeah, welcome
okay.
back.
I do have a little story about this song that for all of us wondering why we got our asses kicked in November a couple weeks ago. So, you know, this song, you can think it's a good song or not, but when I had it recorded with Craig, I made up hundreds of DVDs and CDs and sent them to about every Democratic and liberal person you could imagine. And then in July, I even went down to Washington, D.C. and hand delivered a DVD of this song to every single Democrat and independent senator and congressman. And I heard back from none of them, not a single one. So if you're wondering why the party of the people is not getting the vote from the people, that's just one of many reasons why. When they feel they can beg for your money, but utterly ignore you when you try to put yourself out there a little bit. So it's a little
fascinating perspective.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bitterness there, I'll certainly admit, but I also
very relatable.
Yeah.
Very relatable from one singer to another. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. I want to bring on our next performer. She's a member of the PMN steering committee. Her name is Joni Kalem. Welcome, Joni. So good to have you here.
Hi. I want to just make sure my volume's okay. You all hearing me okay?
I hear you. Is it selected, the microphone?
It is.
Okay.
Let me just double check. I just checked.
Double check and.
Yep.
Oh, good,
yeah.
good. You should.
I mean, I can bring it closer if you need more.
Ah, beautiful.
Alrighty. Well, I feel terrible. I just hopped on, so I've just heard the last two songs, so I don't know everything that came before. I'm sure it was wonderful. Linda, that was beautiful. Chris, great ballad, and I agree. That should have been a no-brainer, that should have been at every rally, but oh well. They're not listening to us.
I'm going to suggest taking that gut volume actually down a little bit. I may have distracted you. Yeah.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Better? Jenny?
Make sure original set is on.
It is.
Oh, we're good. I think we're good. Thanks. I'm out of here.
Okay. So I don't know all that came before Linda's song and Chris's song. This is a song called Peace is a Very Narrow Bridge. It is based on the Jewish phrase, the whole wide world is a narrow bridge, but the main point is to not be afraid. So as anybody who knows me knows, this is about Israel-Palestine. I actually wrote it the last time I was there, sitting on one of my friend's porches, and I wasn't paying attention to the date, but it turned out that it was on September 11th. So
you might want to take the gain just a hair further down.
Okay.
Thank you.
How is that?
Great.
Better? All righty. I think we're ready. Peace is a narrow, shaky bridge. I hear your words, your cries, your fear. And we both say we want peace here. We both say we know the way to make that dream come true someday. We walk that narrow mountain ridge. We walk that narrow, shaky bridge. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. שלום וגשר צר מאוד. I see the pain inside your eyes. I feel the anger that divides. Hatred wants the other gone. Wars go on and on and on. I walk that narrow mountain ridge. I walk that narrow shaky bridge. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. We each think we know what's right. Some even think it's right to fight. We each think we know what's true. I don't see the things you do. I look over here. Pain, trauma, and fear. I look over there. Pain and trauma everywhere. We walk that narrow mountain ridge. We walk that narrow shaky bridge. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. I walk that narrow mountain ridge. I walk that narrow shaky bridge. Shalom ugesher tzar meod. Shalom ugesher tzar meod.
Bravo. Thank you. Thank you, Joni.
Thank you.
This is a narrow, shaky bridge. Let's bring on our next performer, Paul McKenna. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Ben. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well, I was going to sing a song called MAGA that I wrote in 2021, but I decided it was a bit too lighthearted for the current moment. So instead, I'm singing a song I wrote in 2018 called Outrage. It needs an update, but for now, I'm going to sing the as written in 2018, and most of it is still very much on point. The tune is Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. It's got a kind of a sing-along line that, you know, you can sing along with on mute while you're listening. Time for us to wise up, time for us to rise up, time to get together and make a change. Time for us to wise up, time for us to rise up, time to get together and make a change. Ever since the 2016 election, the country has been going to hell. Everything's been heading in the wrong direction. It's time for us to scream and yell. I tell you, it's an outrage what they've been doing. It's an outrage all that they've done. Before they drive this country to ruin, I got to take this down a little bit. It's an outrage what they've been doing. It's an outrage all that they've done. Before they drive this country to ruin, got to make some changes, got to change Washington. It's an outrage. A total outrage. Time for us to wise up, time for us to rise up, time to get together and make a change. Trump's waging war on workers throughout the nation, while industry is on a romp. Corruption is rife in his administration. Forget about draining the swamp. I tell you, it's an outrage what they've been doing. It's an outrage all that they've done before they drive this country to ruin. Got to make some changes, got to change Washington. It's an outrage, a definite outrage. Outrage, outrage. Yeah. Outrage, outrage. He's wiping his ass with the Constitution. It's time to say enough is enough. The outrage keeps coming each day, brings a new one. You really can't make up this stuff. I tell you, it's an outrage what they've been doing. It's an outrage all that they've done before they drive this country to ruin. Got to make some changes, got to change Washington. But it's an outrage, an absolute outrage. It's an outrage, a stone cold outrage. Outrage, outrage, yeah. Outrage, outrage. Time for us to wise up, time for us to rise up, time to get together and make a change. That's it.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bravo. I just wanted to read something from the chat real quick that was about Joni's song, and then something about Paul's. So yeah, I believe, yes, this is from Barbara Diskant writing to Joni, the previous performer, very moving in its simplicity that emphasizes the difficulty and tragedy we are stuck with, and emphasizes that the bridge that is in the metaphor, that song, is narrow, but it exists and we can still walk it. And then Jenny wrote to you, Paul, really fitting adaptation of Donna Summer's song, It's an Outrage, All Right. Thanks for your version. Hallie Hammer is our next performer. We have 2 parodies in a row. My goodness.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome so much, Hallie.
And I've actually done workshops with Paul on parodies. So how about that? Yeah, Paul, you know I'm a fan. Outrage. It certainly is an outrage. That was so well done. I wish these songs would go out of style, but they never seem to do so. What can I say? You're brilliant, and I love your stuff. And the song I'm going to do is, remember the old Gloria Gaynor song, I Will Survive? Well, I was taking a plane up over to Las Vegas for a friend's birthday party just right after the election, and wrote this mostly on the plane. And I have a really nice video that I'd love to share with people, but I'd rather sing it live for now. I'm going to go ahead and share in the chat. You can see, I think I put it in the chat already. Let's see, here it is. If you want to see the video, you can just follow that link that I have. So anyway, this is called I Will Survive. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking of expatriation or even suicide. But after spending numbing nights thinking of all you could do wrong, I grew strong. So I thought I'd write a song. I wish you'd go to outer space. You could fly with Elon Musk, meet him at the SpaceX base, which wish we had changed deluded minds, so this would never be. But now you're heading for the White House, and you're back to bother me. I thought we'd shown you out the door. I hope that we were rid of you and wouldn't see you anymore. You hurt with all the lies you tell and awful things you do. I used to like the color orange. Now it makes me think of you through all your jive. I will survive. Despite the harm you will be doing, I know I'll stay alive. They say that when it's darkest, That's when you see the stars. I wish you had a front row seat for that by rocketing to Mars, but I'll survive. And we will survive. It's taking all my strength not to fall apart. I try with all my might to mend my broken heart. And if you die in office, we still don't have a chance, then we'll have vans. What a lousy circumstance, but we will not abandon hope. By protesting awful policies, we know that we can cope. I remember how exhausted we were last time you held office. It's a crime that we must go back to that time, but you are back, you misanthrope. We can't just sit and watch democracy go up in smoke. Guess we'll all roll up our sleeves, guess we'll be out in the streets, and we'll survive. We will survive, I'm certain we will all survive. We will figure out a way to counteract your lies. We won't let you steal our joy or rob us of our pride, so we will thrive. Keep hope alive, we will survive.
Bravo, Hallie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some comments from the chat. Excellent. Brilliant, Hallie. Great parody capturing the moment we're in now. Bravo, Hallie.
Yeah.
Always enjoy your music. This is Powerful Take. Covers a lot of what I've been feeling. Disco protest music, sheer brilliance.
Thanks. Do check out the video if you
Following the
can.
lines of the original song, masterfully, energetically carrying a rallying sign. Thank you so much. Our next performer is Joel Landy.
Hallie, that was terrific. I first saw that on the listserv. And I'm going, gee, I wish I could hear that. Well, it just happened. And that's 2 disco parodies in a row. My goodness.
Uncanny. I'm going to post the link for the listserv. Joel just mentioned that there's a listserv.
Yeah.
You might not know what that is. That's a discussion listserv. People share songs. There's some guidelines. There's some discussion on it. I'll share the link for how you can learn more if you are not on it.
And I did send the video to the listserv as well.
We suddenly have a massive echo.
Yeah, so Joel, that's probably on your end. You're going to want to enable echo cancellation under your audio settings. So that's going to be an up arrow to your audio settings, and then you're going to go down under the original sound area.
Actually, it's gone. You're not echoing anymore.
Oh, that's because he's muted. So you got that echo cancellation enabled? It's under the original sound. So you go to audio settings and then original sound for musicians. There's a box there. It says echo cancellation. I'll take it right off. Yeah. Just make sure it's checked, but don't check stereo audio. Just, yeah. Okay. And then unmute yourself when you're ready, Joel.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Much better.
So, yeah, parodies. Well, this one isn't a parody. I wonder why it's the men who make the rules of who shall die and who goes to better schools, of who's born and whose rights we can deny. It makes no sense. I wonder why. I wonder when this grand compromise was made. I wasn't asked my opinion, I'm afraid. And now I see precious time is passing by, and there's no change. I wonder why. Why does everybody seem to understand answers they care to deny? Won't someone tell me? At least lend a hand. But you're silent, my friend. I wonder why. I wonder why I am told to watch my health when those who speak get to sell it for their wealth. It seems for different people, different rules apply. Don't you agree? I wonder why. Loving parents teach their children not to fight. They comfort nightmares in the middle of the night. They take assurance that their child will never cry. Then they rape the world. I wonder why. Why does everybody seem to understand answers they care to deny? Won't someone tell me? At least lend a hand. But you look at me strange. I wonder why. I wonder why people scream for law and might. That's how it's been, and we still don't have it right. What are we doing? Let's give knowing that a try. Don't think we will? I wonder why. Why does everybody seem to understand answers they care to deny? Won't someone tell me? At least lend a hand. Have you nothing to say? I wonder why. You are turning away. I wonder why. Is this how it will stay? I wonder why.
Beautiful. Steve Siegelbaum wrote, "Great Joel, I think songs that make the point by asking questions are very effective. This certainly is one of those." I think Dylan wrote one too. Nice going. Beautiful. Joel, you're giving voice to so much that I've thought, so much to the paradox of what we're told versus what we witness, the lies, the hypocrisies, and your emotion along with it underscores it. Thank you. Beautiful. I want to bring on our next performer. That is Jenny Amanda Hurwitz. Jenny, welcome to
Hi.
the stage.
Thank you. Joel, old friend, I always loved that song, and it really moved my heart tonight. And the way you sing it, it's just an incredible song, and the whole way you sing it. Thank you. I can say no more. This is my attempt in the last few days to write an anthem, because I thought we need some anthems, and I've heard some tonight that are incredible. our new friend from Canada, and some of the others. Anyway, so at the parts of the song where you'll kind of know where it goes, it's like if you want to sing along, but of course you can't unmute because of the way the internet works right now. But it's kind of like resist, resist, da da da, resist, resist, da da da, resist, resist, da da da, resist, resist. And that'll go around like a couple of times when that part of the song comes around. So feel free. And if Talbot behind me wants to sing it, I don't know if it'll make it to my microphone, but feel free to sing along, Talbot. Anyway, okay. Let me just, yes, okay. Resist, resist, we won't go down without a fight. Resist, resist, we will not be beat down at all. Resist, resist, you think we cannot overcome and rise. Resist, resist, just because our back's against the wall. Resist, resist, women's bodily autonomy. Resist, resist, refugees at Lady Liberty's knees. Resist, resist, we want peace and justice for the Middle East. We won't rest until nobody's unhoused or hungry. All hands on deck, we must right this ship. When they come for one of us, watch out, ICE, we'll have each other's back. All for one and one for all. Two will rise where one falls. We will not go back. On toward love, heed the call, heed the call. Resist, resist, LGBTQ drag queen reading our air. Resist, resist, all you atypical sing and dance your power. Resist, resist, welfare rights, free healthcare for you and me. Reproductive rights and equal opportunity. Resist, resist, tax the corporations, give to the hungry. To each by need, from each according to ability. Every kid, free access to extracurriculars. A sharing economy rather than at each other's jugulars. All hands on deck, we must right the ship. When they come for one of us, we'll have each other's back. All for one and one for all. Two will rise where one falls. We will not go back to back alley abortions. On toward love, heed the call, heed the call. Resist, resist, disability accessibility. Resist, resist, no exploitation but gender equality. Free expression, no nuclear, only renewables and the sun. People should own their work, not the corporation. Resist, resist, why should I have European and Middle East ancestry deny indigenous or people exploited their right to flee to the USA and become a citizen secure and free, as is written on the base of Lady Liberty. All hands on deck, we must right this ship. When they come for one of us, we'll have each other's back. The fight for good takes time, so pick up your chin. Like Kamala said, it's joyfully hard. And when we fight, we will win. Yes, we will win. We'll bend the rainbow towards justice now. And we will win, we will win. Yes, we will win. Resist, resist, when we dare to hope, oh, we will win. Resist, resist, when we try the impossible, we will win. Let Gaza live, let the hostages free, we all win. Cease fire now, save all the children of the Middle East. Resist, resist, when the females are safe and free, we will win. Same for non-binary, we will win. When we end all bigotry, we will win. When we can let our freak flag fly free, we will win. Like Robert F. Kennedy said back in the 60s before he got shot. Rather than see things as they are and say, why, oh why, better to dream of things that never were. They never were. And say, why not? And say, why not? Why not? Well, friends, why not? Why not? Resist, resist. Another world is possible and divisible. We can build a better union based on fairness and equality, where everyone shares, nobody's begging for what should be free. We can be the change we wanna see. Yes, we can be the change we wanna see. The human race can rise to where we've never been. It's possible, even though it's a place we've never been. If not now, when? 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 Resist, resist. Thank you.
Bravo, Jenny. Thank you very much. Yes, we got comments in there. I'm standing there dancing. Bend the rainbow towards justice. Resist, you tell it straight how it is, as you always do, and this one especially swingable. Yes, thank you. A few names that are missing from the participant list, but who are on the about to playlist. Storm, not seeing him in the room. Unmute yourself, Storm, if you're here. And then I think it's Rick, who I do see is here. Donald Roby and Gary Cantor are also, I'm not seeing them here. So with that, Rick, would you like to offer a word to Jenny before sharing a song?
Sure. First of all, I love a 50s tune that's a protest song that's never been done. I love it. I used to work for Crockett. He would make us listen to 50s, and it was great. This was like the roots of my roots, you know, and I love it. I love that. That's good stuff. Only trouble is it gets into my brain, and now I can't stop remembering it. I suppose that's a good thing. So, yeah, thanks for that. There's so many good songs tonight. And I want to apologize for being late. I didn't get on board till 7:30, because that's how long it took me to finish writing the verses on this new song. I tried to keep them to the 3.5 minutes, and I think I may succeed at this. And there's more to the intro than I have time for, so I'm just going to say, I'm trying to write towards common ground, like a song that anybody from any particular persuasion might be persuaded to sing along. That's the idea. So this is called Land of the Free, and it's hot off the press. I just wrote it in the last 4 or 5 days. And it doesn't have a guitar part yet, but it goes something like this. I'm living in the land of the free. Freedom and justice and liberty. We made a few mistakes, I know, but I know what she can be. And my neighbors mostly feel the same as me. And I'm living in the land of the free. Although it was built on slavery, songs of freedom rang out from sea to shining sea. 'Cause that's one thing we all could agree. America, America, don't you know my great-great-grandfather sailed across the sea for to build a better life for you and for me, for his wife and his children in the land of the free. and all of our friends and relations in the land of the free. I'm talking about America, America. Some of our great-great-great-grandfathers sailed across the sea, and they made a better life for you and for me. In the cotton fields, and the coal mines, and the cotton fields, in the land of the free, they said, let's do a little more picking at the end of the day. Bring out the fiddle and the banjo, if that'd be okay. Let's sing for the joy of life, no matter what they say. Brother, that's one thing they can't take away. Sing it, living in the land of the free, and I'm living in the land of the free. Freedom and justice. Freedom and justice, liberty. Let the songs of freedom rise up. Let the songs of freedom rise up. From sea to shining sea. 'Cause that's one thing. 'Cause that's one thing that we could all agree. Tell the truth now. America is my homeland. Don't you know our great-great-grandfathers sailed across the blue? Won't you sing the songs of freedom, no matter what you do? This is the heart of America talking to you.
Bravo, Rick. Thank you so much. Wow, what a I'm going to give you my own comment here, but I'm going to rely on some of the others who've written into the chat. Jenny writes, great song, really really reaches out to us all to remember our common love of our communities and history. Fantastic a cappella. She also cannot wait for the guitar part to arrive as our new national anthem. And then Joel Landy writes, I can hear and see Bruce Springsteen performing this in an arena. This arena's quiet, hanging on every word. Yeah, really well done, Rick. And yeah, I mean, what I'm hearing in that song is this tone of kind of civic patriotism, you know, trying to reclaim some tradition of reclaim from obviously like other forces that I think are using that ideology to sort of another end, and it's really beautifully done, and I really do feel moved by the a cappella presentation.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And wonderful that you were working on it. You know, you're not the first person who's indicated tonight that these swaps in a way are helping to keep the creative gears moving. And as a songwriter speaking to another, I can certainly appreciate that process.
Yes, in fact, just if I may say briefly, at first I was like, I don't write on command. You know, I'm busy working out the riffs on Mr. Johnny B. Good. I don't have any such song. And then my guitar went, like what? And I just started working on it as I'm working, you know, and it just got it, you know, a piece at a time. So yeah, it was because of the song swap. I was like, well, I got to have something. It's got to be, you know, and just by sheer luck, it just dropped out of the sky. So I'm grateful.
Well, congratulations. Thanks so much, Rick. I guess I'm the last one tonight. We were going to have a few others. I don't know if those names I mentioned, if any one of them have showed up, but if you have, please raise your hand after I finish here. Otherwise, we can end a little early. This song is called The Lesser Evil and the Greater Good. Brought it back for this election. Wrote it about 8 years ago at first. And, you know, I guess the only thing I want to tell you about my own background, singing as an individual here tonight, you know, when I was 18 years old, I went to Iraq. It was 1999. People ask me, did you go with the U.S. military? No, the U.S. military wasn't in Iraq in 1999. I went with the Voices in the Wilderness, this small Christian pacifist organization that was there in Iraq to bear witness to another genocide committed by a Democratic Party administration against an Arab population, this time in Iraq. The sanctions regime that was crippling the economy, form of hybrid warfare that killed so many people. And it definitely shaped my whole worldview. And so this song, which came, of course, many years later after 1999, is very much motivated by my experience as a young man, having been to Iraq, having seen the suffering of Iraqi children who were deprived of basic medicine in their country. It's called The Lesser Evil and the Greater Good. Didn't choose this world, but there's choices I make, like who to call a friend and what chances to take. Come election time, the choice is always the same. Vote for the lesser evil or refuse to play their game. When W. Bush was president, he was the worst, or so it seemed. Who predicted Donald Trump in 2016? But even when Obama came in on a wave of hope, as our country slid toward greater evil, he just greased the slope. Bush Sr. bombed Iraq, which Clinton then maintained. After 13 years of sanctions, 500,000 lives were claimed. W's brutal occupation killed 1 million more. Now Biden's genocide in Gaza could spark the next world war. What's left of this democracy is rotted at the core. So what will you make your vote count for? Neglected by the media and feared by elites, the Green Party is rising from the movements in the streets. We're learning of a different choice to lead the United States, but you can't hear about it on the ABC debate. Greens stand for a vision our country needs to hear. Peace now and no more fossil fuels within the next 6 years. I feel a fear that's rising, 'cause there's danger up ahead, and I can't support a leader when war is what they spread. What's left of this democracy is rotted at the core. So what will you make your vote count for? What's left of this democracy is rotted at the core. So what will you make your vote count for? When we're fighting for our future, the rich want us to lose, but they can't stop us from standing up for the principles we choose. Our vote shows what we'll stand for. That's why I say we should reject the lesser evil and vote for the greater good. Reject the lesser evil and vote for the greater good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that is it. I think, Barbara, you said you were going to come here at the end, so I'll give you the last word before we end the live stream.
Sounds
There's
good
some
to me.
Donald Roby
Wait,
also.
let me check my video.
Oh, do we have Donald Roby? Ah, brilliant. Let's bring Donald on.
Oh.
So actually, it'll be Donald and then Barbara will be on later. Thank you. Well,
Since I'm off, I just want to say bravo.
Okay, thank you so much.
Since I just was going to say it, I'm going to say it. On to the next person.
Beautiful. Welcome, Donald. Welcome.
Sorry for arriving late. I completely forgot it was tonight.
That's okay. Did you have a song you wanted to sing?
Yes. A John Prine song.
Beautiful.
Caravan of Fools, which he said he wrote for Donald Trump. Yeah, so Prine was definitely a liberal. He was with us. I was planning to play this with my guitar, but I'm in the other room and I'm not prepared for that. So it'll be a cappella and singing with my phone. The dark and distant drumming, the pounding of the hooves, the silence of everything that moves. Late at night you'll see them decked out in shining jewels, the coming of the caravan of fools. Like the wings of a dove, the waiter's white glove seemed to shimmer by the light of the pool. Some dull, blinding winter, when you can't stand to lose, you're running with the caravan of fools. The caravan of fools, the caravan of fools, you're running with the caravan of fools. Love and devotion, deep as any ocean, don't play by anybody's rules. With your carousel of horses and your unforeseen forces, you're running with the caravan of fools. Caravan of fools, caravan of fools, you're running with the caravan of fools.
Bravo. Thank you, Donald. Well, I think that rounds us out. Thank you for bringing John Prine in here tonight. Barbara Diskent, it comes full circle.
Okay, well, since I'm going to double dip here, and since I know Donald was late and didn't have a chance to comment on to Ben, I'm going to do both of you, okay? I just think that's fair, isn't it? And and by the way, I'm honoring our last performer in that you made it, okay? If you actually made it over here. So, Ben, that song was such a reminder as we get caught up in, Tweedledee versus Tweedledum, or maybe Tweedledee minus versus Mega Tweedledum, but still that's what they are. Just to look at the way the complicity they really all are. And thank you, Ben. And also your passion and musicality grows every time I hear you.
Thanks.
And that so much serves the message that you're giving. And yes, you have a good smile too.
Love you, Barbara.
Okay. I think I've known you over since you joined PMN. So
Yeah.
I've watched it. Donald, we very, very much needed that song. And you sing it with this gritty conviction that pulls it across. I'm not always in love with covering other songs, but you make that one your own.
Well, I'm trying to sound like John Prine. But
You may be disappointed to know that you also sound like you, and that's a good thing.
oh no, that's fine.
You sound like you honoring John Prine, okay? How does that sound? And it comes, when I'm saying sounds like you're putting across the passion that he can't because he's not here. We need to be hearing it in the present. And that's what I see carrying him into the future as you. So please keep doing it. Wasn't lost on me.
Well, thank you so much, Barbara. And thanks everybody who participated tonight. Just before we end the live stream, I just wanted to invite everybody to consider coming to the People's Music Network Winter Convergence. It's going to be taking place in New York City in East Harlem, right around East 100th Street. It's at the Central Park East number 2, and it's a school we've actually been to in the past, in 2019 and 2020. So very excited. It's going to be a 3-day event from Friday to Sunday. We're going to have an opening concert on Friday, workshops all day Saturday, January 25th. We're going to have Songs of the Spirit, as people know, on Sunday. And we have a kitchen there, so we're able to bring our caterers, Rick and Joanne, who many people know, Pacifist caterers, wonderful food. And because it's a 3-day event, there's really, this is the first time we've actually done that kind of thing for a winter gathering since before the pandemic, believe it or not. We have had 3-day long events in the summer that like last May, and then also most recently last month, we did the fall gathering in Groton, Massachusetts. And that's a great thing because you get to, everybody stays at the camp, but what we're doing for this 3-day gathering in New York City is we're going to be organizing housing for those, we have a housing coordinator and people that we're reaching out to put up people at people's houses. You can certainly get a hotel as well, but, we have a network of people in New York City who are very excited to support this kind of community building endeavor that we're committed to sustaining. So please check out peoplesmusic.org and save the date of January 24th, 25th, and 26th. There's also going to be a Zoom-only version of that for those of you who are not able to make it to New York City. But please do consider making the trip if you can. Thank you so much. For those who'd like to stick around after the Zoom for a little bit of informal chat, we'll do that.